controversial and unfortunately important topic considering brain. Mr. Former Vice President Joe Biden, candidate for office now, who had similar brain aneurysms as my mother when I was in college, except he had a different medical diagnosis and didn't have as bad of an example. He didn't have a hemorrhage, he had surgery. And there's cause for concern with neurology involving blood flow, slowing down, reducing, and having similar symptoms as my mom a long time ago when we were much more similar to how I remember her growing up. And now, unfortunately, I've noticed memory and social conversation, two parts of her brain. And the connections are so fast, so quick, so unstoppable. I receive shipments and I receive deliveries, I receive checks of money, I receive deliveries of pizza, and now I'm better. However, when I had chordoma surgery, the nurses had to say to leave, and I had to plead, please give me some space to heal instead of sitting and staring and not talking and not being friends and hanging out, staring blankly. Eventually, my mom, she got purple colored glasses and said she did something, outrageous. And all the while, she was watching Oprah Winfrey. She was learning about Eckhart Tolle. She was reading Mitch Albom books and mostly watching Hallmark movies and television and going to movies. And she'd post on Facebook when I was a member user of the social media website. And she'd post very simple, very plain words and letters and sentences about her day. She'd have a memory occasionally, and I'd see a post about stuff, but unfortunately, the mom I knew and didn't know wasn't there in college was gone with a very bad aneurysm that ruptured and hemorrhaged in her brain. And until I studied neuroscience and started to have brain and body and freedom, I was unaware how restricted and controlled I was during an important time of my life. Mr. President, Mr. Former Vice President, presidential candidate Joe Biden will and could and very well most likely will, considering conditions now, with an election and one of the most important times in the history of the United States of America, with an economy destroyed by broken windows and coronavirus pandemic deaths, remote workers at home hearing gunshots outside, being asked when they go down a street to check in at a station with a man with a machine gun and have to go to a grocery store and have people maskless going around as a rally, as a encouragement to raise a fist and cause anarchy and build bombs and blow up rockets and shoot and kill kids and children and anyone who doesn't raise their hands and say, yes, okay. No matter how much stand-up comedy I do with non-duality, a pretty girl named Christina and a music thought about back and front and back, a wedding song. I'm nervous and worried. Asking a girl out in these conditions and starting a family has less benefit when everyone votes for a candidate in a party with a vice president candidate of a party and other support staff who are going to force what I described earlier with misdirection and confusion, self and psychology and behavior and observation and mind and gesture. With climate change, big problems, needing energy and intelligence and quick thinking and thoughts about more than consciousness. And masks, and then close businesses and some more free services for recovery. In need of humans who believe their children when they say, you are not doing well. And not say, I don't have a problem. And not stare at a camera live on television and say to another candidate for the presidency of a country declared by a person who's saying to another person, they are the problem and need to do what everyone says to me, shut the F up. And mostly be QUIET for a world with no police and social housing, earn basic income, and a green building on every street, every corner, and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in an economy. Antifa and other Marxist philosopher, theorists, and rock-throwing thugs and gangsters and mercenary soldiers say should be defeated and thrown out with the white, racist, supremacist, trash-speaking BITCH